We have this from Just Loki says, food stamps run out, riots, Insurrection Act. It can't be that easy. And then he's got this tweet that says, we are out of Band-Aids and duct tape. Democrats, stop this madness. And then he has this post where he says, looming food riots, a communist insurgency in New York City, and patriotic WASP industrialists supporting the federal imposition of law and order. I can autism spiral about that for a while. This must be what 1905 felt like. I'm just going to say this. If 42 million people can't buy food all at the same time, it's not that our concern is everyone's insane. It's that a tiny percentage of this, I mean, let's say 1% of this cohort, 420,000 people start smashing up grocery stores and stealing stuff, robbing people in the parking lots. It's going to get absolutely insane. Really so bad. I said it before. I'll say it again. I cannot imagine a scenario where the Trump admin or even the Democrats allow this to happen. But here's the thing. If Trump is truly playing a game of chicken, saying Democrats can vote yes on our budget whenever they want, I don't see Trump backing down. Will Democrats?
Well, it's bad news for the elderly because they depended on being Walmart greeters for all these years, but they're about to replace them with like Navy SEALs. It's going to be like Mad Max. And
it was going to be robots, but now it's SEALs.
Bringing out my Oreo cereal. I'm just getting jumped every time. It's like, yo, can we get a greeter over here?
It's going to be a Navy SEAL strapped next to a robot dog with a rifle on top, and he's going to say, greetings.
Yeah, he's going to check your receipt and then just sprint out.
Dog's going to follow you. You know, you see that viral video from Burlington where they stop you at the front door and you take a picture of your body?
Wow.
You haven't seen this video?
No.
Oh, bro, I got to pull this up for you guys. Let me see if I can find out where this one is. I asked the crew to pull it up for me, and I think
I wouldn't be surprised if violence does start popping off places. You might see some stores and some companies decide it's not worth it to open up. And then you got a whole nother thing. I was like, why are you going to open up your doors for business if you're going to expose your employees and actually your entire store to those type of losses? They might just decide to keep the doors closed.
Well, yeah, this happens. Grocery stores go, there's a lot of crime in this area. Stuff gets stolen off, and we're not going to build a grocery store here. We're not going to open a new location here. And then lefties go, these are food deserts. It's like, all right, well, if you don't want food deserts, you need law and order.
Right.
David Dorn was asked to defend his friend's place from riots. And look what happened to David Dorn. I mean, this is, I worry about that being the next step if it goes like this.
And that was televisions, right? That was electronics.
Yeah, it was like a pawn shop. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was not Staples.
Right.
This is going to be a whole nother class of things.
Yep.
You know, this is going to be a whole, look, you know, I would say this 40 million cohort of Americans, they're not preppers.
Yeah.
They don't have tubs of dehydrated food.
Right.
Yep. They're not ready for this. You know, they're not.
And the private,
they don't have an option.
And it's not hyperbole. Like, we have a great example in South Africa. Like, I was there recently, and you go to the grocery store, and the private sector does address these things. There is, like, you know, stopgaps in place. But what it is there's dudes, like, locked and loaded standing outside of the grocery store to, like, maintain law and order. And it's like, do we really want that in the United States? I mean, that's in South Africa. Like, do we really have to deal with that here? And it's like, well, it could very well.
I do feel terrible for the people that are living paycheck to paycheck, not abusing the system. And like Seamus was saying, I wish there was a way to discern, to get rid of these people on the program who are abusing it and have been abusing it for years.
Yeah, at every level. That's what I said earlier. It's just the government has distributed the cost of dysfunction onto the productive class, and they're not drilling down on the issue. I mean, like Tim mentioned it, like, you know, fertility is being decoupled from productivity. Like, that's going to accelerate every bad sort of dysgenic drift that we're seeing.
Take a look at this video.
Then let them take a picture before you can enter into Burlington. Look at this shit.
So if you walk out in a different coat,
I know. I think you're being tracked the whole way when you walk through these stores. You guys have seen. You've seen what the Amazon stores are doing, where they've got 70 cameras in a tiny little 400 square foot space, filming you in every possible direction. And then one day they show up at your house, you get arrested.
Well, it's crazy because we have all the technological infrastructure that we were able to build up from having a relatively productive, high-trust society at one point, and even as society's become lower and lower trust, the snowball effect of that technological development has continued. But now we have a low-trust society, so all of these very high-tech tools that are great when you're in a society where people don't need to watch each other all the time because they're trying to rob and screw each other over are going to be able to be, they exist, and they're going to be put to use, again, spying on everyone all the time.
They will be deployed.
Yeah.
They already are
Yeah,
but
well,
to a worse
It's
degree.
just the little like
Are they going to rename the Patriot Act the Grocery Act?
might have to. Because it's the little things that compound that just you don't notice when it's rolled out, but it just makes your life worse when it compounds. Like when you go to a Walgreens, you got to like wait for some employee to get deodorant. Like I was at Walmart recently with I got my basket. I look down, there's a security tag on the basket. I'm like, this is like probably a $2-3 basket. I'm like, what is going on? And it's like 'cause the country just like sucks now, and it all just compounds, and then your life just gets worse and worse, and you don't even notice it getting worse.
well,
So let me ask you guys, just, how many of you want the benefits to just run dry instantly on November 1st?
I don't.
You don't want
I want them to be stripped down from people who abuse it, but I do feel bad for the families. I know there's no way to do it.
So considering there's no way to figure out who's abusing and who isn't, you're still okay with keeping it?
It's a hard one, dude. I think of all these people who live paycheck to paycheck, and people are suffering really bad.
You think keep it, Bricksuit?
Not having it run out cold turkey is just not a good situation. So if the government can find some way to fund it, creative financing, it's going to be cheaper to keep it funded than to initiate the cure if violence breaks out.
which is why I'm pretty much on the same page, which is why we have to remember this is the Democrats' fault for keeping the government shut
100%.
down by not making a deal.
So you guys think we have to keep it?
Well, I think like the USDA has some leverage now where they can actually start stripping off some of the excess. And
Sure, but
That's what I would
just here's the question: your option is keep it for all 42 million as normal, or shut it off. What do you pick?
no, because I trust that.
I think you have to.
Not keep permanently.
I didn't say
But
that.
You got to, got to keep
just-
it.
we should
Because
get into that
the
nuance after.
the option is right now.
Yes.
It's one or the other.
Right.
If they reopen government and fund it, it's going to stay exactly as it is with all of the abuse. And if they shut it down, everybody's cut off. I'm for cutoff.
Yeah, well, my thing is
This is why I'll never be in politics because I'm sorry. I will never be in politics because I have no problem saying your government has created a heroin addiction for your country. It is destroying you. And I know there are good people that will be negatively impacted by this, but we cannot continue to inject ourselves with an addictive drug that is burning us to the ground.
Are the politicians being paid still right
In that
now?
case, I'm in.
No.
I'm in,
Can we? Oh, they're not being paid.
They're not.
Well, can we rob the politicians? I'm kidding.
in that case, I'm more like in favor of methadone. Like I'm not in favor of
I
keeping the
agree.
addiction, but we can't
If-
go cold turkey and take the whole country just can't get off of these benefits in one fell swoop.
It's impossible.
Exactly.
Period.
Impossible.
Completely agree. Like you need to do some kind of analysis firstly to make sure that there isn't a head of household who has a bunch of illegals living with them. So the welfare is basically going to illegal immigrants. Like stuff
Dude,
like that has to be done immediately.
No, but brother, it's
negotiation.
so much worse than this. There are people who have babies intentionally to expand their benefits.
But you're going to start crashing,
And they
the food-
sell
you're gonna-
these benefits.
You're going to start crashing the food producers, and then those jobs are going to disappear, and then that's going to be more strain on the system. So it'll just be a cascading effect.
you know what?
I don't think the economy is resilient enough to withstand a complete and total withdrawal of all the subsidy at
I
once.
do not believe there is a reality where what you were asking for, which is the correct answer, is possible. The methadone situation, where we say we're going to slowly start pulling back these benefits. No matter what we do, there will always be people who are deserving of it getting taken away from, and people who are manipulating it getting it when they don't need it.
Correct.
There will. I do not. In my lifetime, with everything I've seen, I don't see a political reality where you can stop these programs except in a way like this. Because no politician, no Republican would stand up and say, I'll take away your benefits from you. Not even Republicans can say it. In New York City, Curtis Sliwa, the Republican, said, don't deport the illegal aliens. That's what happens when you have these prolonged addictive systems. Because Sliwa knows, if I say we got to deport illegal immigrants, I won't get a single vote. That's what New York is right now. So we keep playing this game of we'll figure it out down the road. We'll figure it out. We never will. Where are we with Democrats? They're asking now for what, their fourth amnesty in 30 years? And we had Brian Shapiro on the show, and he says, I think it was Brian, amnesty. He says, we need to find a way for those that have been here for 20 years and are working to become citizens. I said, again?
False.
For the fourth
that's
time?
totally not
Well, but
true,
hold on. What's the difference? There's a guy who's been here for 20 years. He works a normal job. He's a good person. He doesn't get benefits. Why should we cut him off? Now, there's a moral argument of he's not a citizen, so there's a line for us. My argument is the same thing is true for this welfare system. It is being exploited by a lot of really bad people, and the system itself is a cancer on our country. I have no problem. I'm actually very much in favor of EBT benefits, SNAP benefits, and welfare for most people. But the way I've described it over and over again, imagine it like one day you got a cut on your arm. So you cleaned it off and put a Band-Aid on it. and then forgot about it. A week later, it's starting to smell bad. So what do? You slapped another Band-Aid right on top.
Yep.
Starts to smell bad. What do? Another Band-Aid right on top. And now someone says, yes, but if you peel the Band-Aid off, it's going to pull all the necrotic flesh and it's injuring the arm. And you're like, but if you keep doing this, you will die. At some point, you've got to say, I'm sorry, but the system is broken. Now, look, again, I understand. I'm not in a position where I'm going to be one of these people who's cut off. But I'll tell you the truth. No politician's ever going to tell you the truth. They're never going to admit to you that this is a fast track to the collapse of your society. Your children will inherit a pile of ashes. No one will ever say it. They're going to tell you, don't worry, you're special, and I'll make sure you get your free stuff every effing time. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.